We should be live. I'm going to press record here, and I'm going to start my firehouse lights. I apologize if the microphone is not where I think it is. This will only take a moment. My microphone should be in my earbuds, but I think sometimes it doesn't work out quite that way, and I don't have a way to check it. Anyway, so the firehouse lights are going. I'm supposed to be live. Let's get this bird in the air.
Take off.
The
home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Skies this morning. So I don't know about the sunrise, but it could be spectacular. Or it could be fog. And it looks like fog, folks. I am at how far? I'm just not used to looking at this anymore. 325 feet. Okay, looks like I can't climb above it at 378 right here. Shucks. Okay, well, let's get down below the fog and hope that the fog either rises or falls quickly. Well, golly jeepers. So, folks, I've been away for a while. I have. Hope one of you missed me. There we go. So, we're pointed in the general direction of the sunrise, but folks, I think it's going to be a bust this time. Had to compensate for what both Drone Bum and Mikey were able to deliver this morning. That was pretty amazing. Let me get to my channel on my phone because I forgot to do that. I'm so out of touch, so out of practice here. Amazing how quickly we forget, huh? I'll go to my videos, refresh, and refresh again. And we probably find out that I've forgotten to do something. Okay, not showing up here. Let's go into Chrome and YouTube Live, and it says, does it say it says I'm offline. What is going on? This says that I'm live. What channel am I live on? That's a good question. This doesn't actually say I'm offline. It says I'm live, actually. And stream health is good. But it doesn't show my live. Well, that's kind of interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I see it. Okay, so, yeah, all right. Now let's see if I can find it on YouTube, because that's how we get to our chats, is it not? Do another refresh here. Oh my goodness, I don't see my own live stream. There it is, way down on the list. That's craziness. Okay, I'm going to turn this phone volume down. There we go. So, lots of people in here. Camero Drone, konnichiwa, konbanwa, sir. Cameron-san. Nancy Jones, welcome again. I don't know if you saw my message that my niece, Melissa Amon, built a bake shop in Silverton, Colorado. I want to find out more information about that. She talks very proudly of that place. I guess it's quite the place. And I one day want to visit Silverton just so I can see that. That's not the only reason, but that's my excuse for going there. Okay, thank you, Nancy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. It looks like we have a foggy morning this morning. And I have a bit of a cold. We just had an amazing trip out to Utah. We went right past Colorado all the way to Utah, and then drove up Utah from Salt Lake City up through to Grand Teton, or Teton, Grand Teton, depends on where you come from, I guess, and Yellowstone National Park, and then we drove back down all the way through Page, Arizona, the southern rim of the Grand Canyon, and then from there to Las Vegas. All told, it was a 2,200-mile trip, and got to show ourselves and our niece from Shanghai the west part of the United States. And unfortunately, I didn't have time on this trip to see Dad Random and some other things and people that I wanted to see, but we got to show her a good time. So that's what we meant to do. And I hope to go back maybe in this spring. So we will see. Anyway, but I came back. Hey, Brian, True Drone Reviews. Thanks for joining, sir. I came back with a bit of a cold. It reminded me of, did you ever wonder why you get a cold? Well, look at the word. Spell it. See, old. See, old, you're pulled over by the Reaper for a warning. He says, I clocked you thinking 80. You know you're not that old. You've been worrying about the darkness in the morning. Well, I give you something to worry about, he says. Flips open his ticket pad. Appreciate your breathing. I'm going to write you up a headache for those thoughts. Now, why have you been so worried, man? What have you been reading? And why do you have to tally all you've lost? I'm going to write you up a head cold. Comes on like bad weather, so maybe you'll appreciate the warming. See, it gives a new perspective. Soon you'll be feeling better. I'm going to let you off this time with a warning. He says, but take it easy, all right? People live around here. You won't see them in time. What I'm trying to tell you is, you'll miss them. That's from David Wilcox. Anyway. So we're looking at fog. We're looking at hog. I am 156 feet up and it looks like the fog is falling because I was out of it a moment ago and I'm in it now. So I'm going to climb back up near 400 feet. We're at 180. 220. Hope that I can get above this. 270. 330. 375. 385. Okay, so nothing there. I'm just going to sit there for a while. Point the camera down. So that's our ground view. So we can see we are definitely in the midst of these clouds. And hoping they'll fall down close enough to me that we can get a view of that sun out there, which should rise in about 6 minutes. Go to 1,000, yahoo, yeah. If I wasn't so close to the busiest airport in the world, Michael, I just might be tempted. But sorry, can't do it. Anyway, but I appreciate the advice. it's good sound advice. Why don't we go to 2,000 while we're at it? Yeah. So Nancy, you've had a lot to say. Let me back up to the beginning of this. Hello, hello, hello. Konnichiwa, konbanwa. Why do I keep saying konnichiwa? I know better. Might as well throw in Ohio gozaimasu while I'm at it. PhillyDroneLife in the house, yes. Now, I didn't say, hi, Mikey. Hi, Mikey. Okay, just 900. Yeah. Yeah, what a beautiful view, huh? All right, so 385 is not cutting it. I'm going to come back down, see how far I have to come down before I can see the way forward again. Of course, I have to account for the fact that the lens is going to be a little bit damp, but still, not too badly, I think. Ambient light too weak. 125 feet, 110. What's going on? You guys, oh, I just had the camera pointed up, that's why. All right, so that's 80 feet. Yeah, we're not going to see a sun today, I'm afraid, folks. And I did look at the weather forecast. Last night it looked, they didn't have any prediction of haziness at all. I was pretty excited because it looked like it was going to open up to a partly cloudy sky this morning. But when I got up this morning and looked, it looked like it's going to be hazy until like 11 o'clock. So, but I still hoped for better. I hoped for better. Hey Chris, Drone Life RC, thanks for joining. Plays it here, thanks for joining. Yeah, it'll be wet, I know. Let's see, so we're stuck at 143 feet here. I can't go up much, as you can see. I can't go down much or I hit the ground or trees. Those trees actually top out at about 80 feet, but still, that's a 30-foot window. I don't care for that. So we're kind of stuck where we are, folks. I'm sorry. Sometimes our weather just does that to us. So our trip was amazing. I want to talk about it, but I don't think I have. Let's see, how's our battery? 56% battery. I tell you, we went to Yellowstone, and it was my first time ever being there. And I tell you, we saw so much color. You see these photographs that are in National Geographic and other places where people that know how to deal with cameras, and they bring you such beautiful views and so on, and it just makes you wonder, do these places really exist, that left? And I got to tell you that until you've stood there and actually seen it for yourself, it's unbelievable, the revelation. But I saw blues that were so deep they almost cry by themselves. They don't need music. Just incredibly colorful places, and it was a sight to behold. And it was another amazing thing was the hot springs. I guess I hadn't heard this before, but I guess that Yellowstone is the most volcanic place remaining on the earth. That's not corroborated, but I did hear that while I was on this trip, and I can believe it because there are hot springs everywhere. And so you see some amazing things. You see ice that has stood there apparently for centuries with running hot water within inches of it. And the two, coexisting as though neither of the other was there. It's just really weird stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go back if I can. As soon as I can. We were so rushed on this trip that I didn't get to do much drone flying, and I want to correct that. But of course, in national parks, you don't do any drone flying at all. But I was able to get some camera footage. Some of it turned out really well, some of it did not. I get a lot of still shots. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with any of it, but we had a grand time. So, yeah, just loved it. Steve Carpenter, thanks for joining, sir. So it is 6:45 where you are. Welcome. After me is Exploration Obsession, and I see Exploration Les, thank you for joining, has joined us. So Les, just let me know, there's always the rerun. Just let me know when you would like to go up, and I will relinquish. I have no sun show for you today whatsoever, as you can see. I'll do a slow pan of the Georgia sky here. We are pointed north now, and now to the east, so give you a perspective. Anyway, so yeah, I really recommend going out to the west. There were so many places. If I had been able to stop, if I had stopped every time I wanted to stop and fly the drone, I would have made it about 3 miles by now, because everything is a landscape that just needs to be captured on video. It's just an amazing, amazing place out there. So I've been able to share a few things. I was able to fly in Red Rock Canyon. You'll see a sunset that was breathtaking, and I not being a photographer guy, I didn't do a very good job of capturing it, but that'll be released on Tuesday morning. But it was absolutely breathtaking. The thing about that one was, though, that the wind was so strong. At ground level, it was maybe 10 miles per hour. It wasn't too bad. But when you got the craft up a little bit, when I put it up above about 150 feet, I think it was, the craft started to drift off backward, even though I was full force forward. And so I had to bring it back down. But yeah, those winds out there can be kind of amazing. So I'm just looking at the chats. Oh, I don't think it was all in fun, Philly. I think put a beer in those guys, he said. Let's see, what was it? Put a beer in those guys and they can't. Oh, then he said Chris Hope. Chris Hope's a good guy. No, I know. It's all in fun, Steve. And I hope you guys had a great time without me. I would have loved to have gone myself, but this time it just wasn't going to work out. It was too close to the other trip. Our niece going back to China just, we couldn't work it out. But anyway, there it is. Mr. Obsession, Mr. Les Fink, would you please tell us what time you would like to fly? I have 34% battery and nothing to show for it, as you can see. We are starting to get some color change here. That's kind of pretty. Still a ways off before that becomes spectacular, which we all know lasts for a couple of days, then it's gone. But should be kind of pretty around here. And then after that, I can fly further because all those leaves will be gone. But yeah. Maybe both Mikey and I can be there next year. Maybe we do the whole Sunday sunrise, one right after the other. We'll position ourselves about 100 yards apart and do the sunrise from the crack of dawn until whatever that would boil out to be after 5 batteries. That'll be a treat, huh? Anyway, maybe not for you guys, but we'd enjoy it. So I got nothing to show here, folks. I could tell you a story about, let me see if I can find it here, because I don't remember how it started. Oh, you've all heard of folks with a lot of ambition, but I believe just about the biggest case of ambition I ever saw was in a bug that I saw crawling along the beach one day. He was a mighty ambitious bug. On the beach one early morning, as the day was newly dawning, and the sun again was warming all the chill throughout the land, I saw me a bug a-walking, and at first I thought he was squawking, then I found he was talking while he crawled across the sand. He was crawling mighty slow and a steady gait, and when I asked him to wait, he said, "Oh, come on, walk along with me." But I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "You'll be knowing, for I'm going to make a showing and you'll someday see." When I stood there by the ocean, I suddenly had the notion that I'd start this big promotion, so this challenge I unfurled, said the bug. So I gave my wife a hug and I left my comfy rug so I could be the only bug that ever crawled around the world. Well, he seemed mighty small and it was a long way to crawl, and I'm sure he couldn't swim at all, so I tried to discourage my friend. I said, "You know, the world is round and there's a mighty lot of ground and some water to be found before you reach your journey's end." And he said, "Now don't you fret, there's some challenges to be met, but I'll make it, you can bet, and this deed will bring glory to my name. You know, they said man would never fly, now he's soaring in the sky, 'cause he had the will to try, so let me win my fame." Then he crawled on out of sight as he sought the splendored height, neither looking left nor right, but slowly marching toward his goal. And my knowing he had started on this journey as we parted kept me from feeling too downhearted, for he was a mighty ambitious soul. Well, I've looked everywhere I've been and seen a lot of bugs since then, but not one quite like my little friend. When I think of him, I'm filled with pride. Did he make it? I don't know. He was crawling mighty slow and he had a long way to go. All I can tell you folks is that he tried. He sure was an ambitious bug. All right, there's my cue. Wow, how's that for timing? All right, so folks, thank you so much for joining. Sorry I couldn't show you a sunrise at all, but we got a couple of stories in, so there you go. And let's just bring this down to about here, maybe there, and point it. Oh, hush. I'm going to fix that. Bear with me. I apologize. There. Quiet. Silence. Folks, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye for now. Oops. Come on, camera up.
Landing.
Land you. Thanks so much for joining. Bye-bye now.